So you talked about consulting. You do consulting with restaurants as well. You said you do consulting with or retraining chefs, which is interesting. Let's talk about that first, because most chefs are not trained in cooking, not only vegan. I mean, you would think every chef has learned how to cook a vegetable, but they really did not learn how to cook them low fat, with less salt. I mean, in fact, every chef I've ever spoken to, they said, we were never taught to cook without oil. And that's right? So that's part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not only teaching them to cook vegetables, and you're not only teaching them to create these masterful dishes, but you're teaching them how to make them more healthy, aren't you?
That's the goal. Yeah, it's I just actually was up in DC for the training, and I did a 2-day chef training for Bon Appetit Management Company. They're owned by the Compass Group, which is the largest food service provider. So they have accounts where they'll run the food at hospitals and corporate headquarters and universities. And so I did a 2-day training for some of their executive chefs and that they service. And there was someone from executive chef from Wolfgang Puck's was there, an executive chef from Johns Hopkins University and the Newseum in D.C. and other colleges in the area. One of them was the executive chef for the New England Patriots at one point. And it's really fun for me to work with other chefs who already have the grasp of the basics, and then so we could really dive into the nuances of vegan and raw food cuisine.
So how do a lot of these chefs who have been cooking for years, I mean, it's like when I work with physicians who have been practicing for many years, we have to teach them to unlearn so many bad behaviors. And I can imagine that's got to be very similar when you're working with these chefs. True?
Yes, and like 2 of them contacted me. One was actually the district manager for the organization, and he said he spent his whole culinary career, he said, poo-pooing vegetarian cuisine, and that now his eyes were opened. And another chef emailed me also saying basically the same thing. So a lot of them just thought that it would be bland and you can't really do much with it. So it's really cool to show them what's possible.